Let's fire up the mic, shall we? Let's fire them up. Fire up the mics. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check out the shirt, XY, little DNA symbol. Follow the science. Two things the liberals love and hate. That men are XY, not XX, and you can't switch it. But love to say follow the science. So look at the shirt, follow the science. In the description of the video, any of our social media pages, check out T Public through the link. Our shirts are there. Thank you. So, what we're going to look at here today, Tucker Carlson, January 6th, the shaman. We all know who we're talking about here. Join me, won't you? And let's see what we have going on. I saw a little bit of this. You know, I think the old man is like, you know, he sent me articles, so I know he's up to date on this kind of stuff. I am getting up to date on it mainly because my fascination, so to speak, is going to be with the liberals who will deny or simply ignore this.
These are the pictures you've seen of January 6th. They're familiar because they've been playing on a loop on every media outlet in America for the last 2 years. There's a reason for that. But it turns out there's quite a bit of video you haven't seen.
So just right there, if you're watching, you saw it's the 4 or 5 same images we've seen 1,000 times. It's an algorithm just put through the TV. How Instagram, how YouTube, how all these social media apps and things work, platforms work, is an algorithm. They monitor human behavior. They see what you do, what you click, what you look at. If you watch a video for more than, I think, like 7 seconds, they'll find a similar one in your next scroll through. Like there's on Netflix, there's a movie documentary called The Social Project, I think it's called. It tells you how they do it. So these specific images picked, played in a specific row, looped together, nonstop, will get into your head, regardless if you wanted to or not, if you are willing to anyway, pay attention to them. If you know it's nonsense, you have a thick outer shell, odds are it won't get to your head. You may say, you know what? It does kind of look like an insurrection. These guys are kind of breaking windows. No one said that it wasn't going to show video that, you know, actually happened. We're going to look at what was omitted from the public. So we saw a few clips. This is only a 5-minute video. Let's see what they left out. Apparently, this one is about the shaman, the guy who walked around with the buffalo head on his show, on his head here, like a hat, and wearing the flag. We'll see what this is. This should be about him.
And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th. More than 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from
40,000 hours? Holy cow.
In and around the Capitol have been withheld from the public. And once you see the video, you'll understand why. Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection. In fact, it demolishes that claim.
Yeah, these people are walking through. Now, there's some images you see if you're watching of knocked over. I'm blanking on those things that hold people together with the velvet ropes. They're knocked over. But these people are walking around. They're picking up stuff. It's like an everyday thing. Where is this insane insurrection we kept hearing about?
And that's exactly why the Democratic Party and its allies in the media prevented you from seeing it. By controlling the images you were allowed to view from January 6th, they controlled how the public understood that day. They could lie about what happened, and you would never know the difference.
See, that's it, man. They could lie about it, and you wouldn't know. This is what the news shows. They're only showing you 3-4 minute clips of potentially over 40,000 hours. We're seeing maybe 5 minutes total of what they picked and chose to show us. Obviously, it's going to be skewed. And for those of you who are liberals, this is what happened, you need to accept the fact that this is another proving entity, proving video that the media, the liberal media, continues to lie to you. And the only reason for it is they think you are too stupid to figure things out for yourself. You're just going to watch this and say, oh, well, listen, that's in the past. Who cares? They already got the guy. Let's move on. That is the standard liberal answer to almost anything. You bring up masks. Oh, we're not talking about that anymore. Wear it, don't wear it. That's in the past. We don't, COVID's not even a big deal because they only think about what's on the news. They're only told to talk about what's on the news. So COVID's gone. They're not going to talk about COVID. January 6th now guarantees it's going to disappear. That's old hat. We don't got to worry about that. And they're going to move on from it. They're afraid to admit they're wrong. And unfortunately, they're too stupid to realize they're being lied to. And yes, I mean stupid. This is proof that they are being lied to by the liberals, by the media, and they're still going to accept all of what they were told.
Those lies had a purpose. They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington.
Our office wanted to ensure that there was shock and awe, that we could charge as many people as possible.
The first thing you notice from viewing the full video record of January 6th is just how many people entered the Capitol building that day. Hundreds and hundreds of people.
I mean, look, if you look at the video right here, you see a shaman guy. He's right dead center. He's walking in. I mean, again, the crew, mob mentality. If 4 or 5 knuckleheads pop off, 20 or 30 behind them are probably going to join in, at least that front half next to the ones who were popping off. That's human behavior.
People entered the Capitol building
right
that
here.
Day. Hundreds and hundreds of people, possibly thousands, over the course of about 2 hours. The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans. They committed vandalism. You've seen their pictures again and again. But the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful. They were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers. Footage from inside the Capitol overturns the story you've heard about January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office.
These are the violent rioters that took over the Capitol supposedly the entire day? Come on, man.
Take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol. They're there because they believe the election was stolen from them. They believe in the system. Here's the man you've heard referred to as the QAnon Shaman.
Look at him. He's just hanging out taking pictures.
Outside the Senate chamber. These are not rioters. These are people who wandered over from a political rally.
We will not let them silence your voices.
After the rally, they walked down Pennsylvania Avenue, where organizers had secured a federal permit to hold a legal rally on the grounds of the Capitol.
They had a permit to hold a rally. When's the last time you see liberals follow the rules when they want to go riot and loot and go crazy? These people are following the rules and still somehow got blamed for something that was the liberals' fault.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Once at the Capitol building, things began to get chaotic. Capitol police officers fired tear gas into the crowd.
Look, they were just sitting there, and the officers just start shooting tear gas at them. Nobody was doing anything.
A few at the front of the herd broke windows. Someone opened the doors, and many hundreds of others just walked in.
We're going to make that the story.
Of course, they did make it the story. And at the center of it, the single most famous person arrested that day was a Navy veteran from Arizona called Jacob Chansley, often referred to as the QAnon Shaman.
The so-called QAnon Shaman. QAnon Shaman.
Someone named Q Shaman.
Jacob Chansley became...
We've told you that before, guys. They say the same thing, talking points. Multiple news networks, multiple outlets, all saying the same thing. The Trusted News Initiative, they're trying to brainwash you into believing this stuff. They all say it on various outlets, and you think to yourself, well, if they're all saying it's got to be true. It's a scam.
In the face of January 6th, a dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened.
This guy is walking with a police escort. Like, they're taking him everywhere he wants to go. This is the leader of the insurrection? This guy? Now listen, I'm not going to jump in the conspiracy corner because we all know there's a bunch of thoughts about this. But this guy's being escorted by the police, showing where to go, what to do, at least my opinion anyway. How do you not think that this guy was planted there? Or not? Maybe he's, I don't know, bro. I don't want to speculate. But I'm looking at this person being escorted by police throughout the entire Capitol.
Once he got inside, virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors.
The chamber, the Senate chamber that he said? And they're trying to open the door for him, show him, hey man, here's where to go.
For him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Thank you to these police officers who allowed us in the building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years.
Look at this. Look at this. This guy walks right up to him with a big camera, like, smile for the photo. Listen, I'm going to be reading into this stuff. What I'm looking at, this is supposed to be like the guy, and he is getting an escort everywhere. They're taking pictures of him, and he's supposed to be the leader of the insurrection. If you don't think that, if it doesn't pop into your head that this could possibly be a setup, come on, people.
They said he should be killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, you burst into the United States, if he was dressed like bin Laden, would you have shot him?
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Could you imagine if a conservative said that about anybody? That's inciting violence. That's going to kick you off Twitter. The Department of Homeland Security is going to knock on your door for being a domestic terrorist. If you were a conservative and said someone should shoot somebody else.
It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here? Not Jacob Chansley, and the video proves that. But you would never have known from the media coverage.
The people sitting in the chairs need to be sitting in a jail cell.
Chansley is in a jail cell. He's been there for months. If he was in fact committing such a grave crime, why didn't the officers who were standing right next to him place him under arrest? Until now, no one could even prove that even happened. But it did.
Bro, this guy is walking around everywhere without any, like, if he's such a bad dude, or he's already inside the Capitol building. So he's inside the Capitol building, right? So he's not supposed to be in there, apparently. Or was he given, like, did he get a fast pass? He can go in sooner than everybody? Or was this part of the insurrection and they were already inside and he just veered off by himself and was getting a private tour? I mean, if this doesn't put anything in your head, whether you're a Democrat, liberal, and you think he's a conservative insurrectionist, or if you're a conservative Republican and you think, look, he was a plant by, Pelosi or the Democrats to go, whatever you want to think, the fact that this guy was wandering through the Capitol during an insurrection with no problems, being escorted by police, that should raise something in your head to be like, man, there's something fishy about this. Political party aside, the fact that he is roaming through the Capitol during an insurrection escorted by police should make you think we are not being told the full story. And that is what you need to know. That's what you need to ask yourself. That's why you need to watch Tucker and watch this video of these people. I'm not pro Fox. I'm not pro CNN. But this is information you need to know because this guy wandered through the Capitol with a police escort and he's supposedly the leader of the insurrection. Come on, everybody. That's it. Fire up the mics. Hope you guys have a good day.